Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. And as it happens, what I want to talk about is the new book put out by Kobold Press. I'm very excited. I've been wanting to get hold of this for a while, and that is Prepared to Tombs and Dooms Review. This is an adventure book with a dozen one-shot adventures for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. That's right, 5th edition. And it's published by Kobold Press. Written by Joan Swatsky. I think I've got that pronounced correctly. I don't know. Maybe I got it wrong. Compatible with Dungeons and Dragons 5e, which is exactly what we're after. It's got some really cool front artwork. And I'm going to flick you over so you can actually see the book, because it's intentional. That's my intention, is I'm going to show you what the book is like. I'm not going to just like tease you with an image. So it is a pretty impressive piece of artwork. I like it. It has 36 pages. There is, I think, one page of ads at the very back of the book, so it's quite small. It's not a big book. It's designed for a range of levels from about level 1 through to a level 11. So it's not the same range as the first prepared book, which was going from level 1 through to 15. I actually think that's perfectly fine. If you've only got a dozen adventures, covering any more than that might be just a bit too silly, if you ask me. It is designed to be run by somebody in about 5 to 10 minutes of preparation. As I said, they are one shots. They'll take about one session to run, and then you should be done. 2 sessions if you're really lucky. The adventures are about 2.5 pages long. It does use monsters from the Tome of Beasts, unfortunately. So I'm going to flip it over and just show you what I mean. Not all of the monsters in this are from the Tome of Beasts, and you could replace a number of the monsters in this adventure, so that's not like a huge problem. There are fantastic maps in here. It's more like an encounter location short adventure book rather than giving you something that has a number of different locations. There is a couple like that. I think the very first one had more adventures that were made up of a series of small locations, between 3 to 5 locations in the adventure, although they did have some adventures that were just one location. This is a mixture of combat and roleplay, so if you wanted a mixture of both, you're going to get both. Don't worry about it. Some of the monsters are from the monster manual. They're not all from the Tome of Beasts, so that's not going to be a huge issue. And as I said, you can cycle stuff out. So let's have a look what's inside, so you can actually see the product as it is. So very nice artwork as I said, and we'll just make sure we get in the shot for you. There you go. So contents page breaks it down, and here we go. There's our map. First one, Dib's Wagon of Doom. So this is about, with the map, it's about 2.5 pages at that. And it gives you all the information you might need, but you can see it is essentially not a series of locations. It's just one location compared to some of the other adventures in the very first prepared adventure book. Okay, next one. Starry Beach. So one location, and you play that out. And this, I know it seems strange, but some of the maps actually take up a lot of room. I think they've actually put more effort into some of the maps than they have into anything else. They look very pretty. I don't know that they would necessarily be that difficult to draw up. And then a breakdown. Usually it has like a sidebar. So over here, it sort of talks about how you can integrate it into your campaign. So this is designed to sort of be put together in pieces. The next one, the Ooze Temple of the Oathbreaker of the Oathbreaker. This has got a void dragon in it, which is not something you'll find in the original Dungeons and Dragons 5e monster manual. It'll be in the Tome of Beasts. And a location map. It's actually a couple of location maps, sort of to give you an idea of where it would sit in the world. Well formatted, so you can find everything pretty easily. Assault of the Steel Horde, and I'll just flip that over there as well so you can see. Wouldn't require an awful lot of effort on your part, and you could and the nice idea behind this is these seem to be adventures that are scaled So we're now looking, the first one was for level 1. This one here, over here, is designed for 4 characters from level 5 to level 6, roughly. But it's a lot of things that you would sort of imagine would be great to have. So they're very dynamic, even though it's like one location. They are dynamic environments and dynamic encounters that you can run for your for your group. The Void Walker. So we'll just flick through this. Really cool. This adventure literally is a location sitting on the side or shoulder of a very, very large creature with a portal of all things. So it's the wonderful in the way they have put them together, really creative. The sort of things that you are looking for that sort of outside of the box. Hell Comes a Glittering, next one. This is for levels 5 to 6, 4 PCs. This one has actually got a couple of different locations on the map. And a lot of the artwork I did notice is repeat artwork from not the maps themselves, but some of the images are from what looks like previous releases from Kobold Press, if you're wondering. I'm certainly pretty sure that is the case. So neither by sail nor by oar. So yes, a nautical theme, and you can see each one of those adventures in your campaign. It talks about how you can tie it in. It also talks about Midgard a lot, which of course you won't necessarily be using Midgard unless you're using Kobold Press's campaign worlds. This is a sailing ship. Yes, we get a sailing ship. Absolutely. I know what you mean. Exactly. Good. Cool. Right. Moving on. Dark Knight at the Odin. Is it Odin? I think it's the Odin. This is like you're going to watch a show and things happen. Of course they do. There's supposed to be things happening at the show. The Tangled Temple. That's for levels, let's see, is it 8 to 9? And it gives you a couple of locations. You only get 2 major locations in here, so it's not like your 5 dungeon adventure, which would have been nice. It would have been nice to have like 5 different locations sort of tied into that. But anyway, never mind. We don't get that. But still, really, really easy to put together. You wouldn't have to spend a lot of time on this whatsoever. The Sparkling Spire and Valley of the Black Tears. This is artwork from the Tome of Beasts. This is the pages are all gloss, so it's going to last. It's well constructed. It's not going to fall apart, even though it's a light paperback. And a couple of locations here. A Shroud of Aganantha, I think it is Aganantha, level 11 PCs, and we get a couple of different maps. This one is the only one where there is at least, I would say, like 5 different locations, 4 to 5 different locations, which is good. And at the back, you get a couple of unique and unusual magic items to use in the adventure, which I think is great, and a little bit of advertising at the back. So what do I think? I'm not unhappy that I got it. I would have preferred the locations to have, like, adventures to have like 1 to 5 locations, or at least 5 different locations, so my players can sort of do a bit of exploration, because right now what we're getting is sort of big climactic battles, or heavy on the role play, rather than allowing sort of the 3 pillars of play is what we're usually after, right? So there's the only thing that I would say is a drawback on this particular product. I still think it's a good product, and I'm happy to have it. I will definitely use it. I've always found myself having to pull them out from time to time. So if you have any feedback or questions, put that into the comment section. By all means, go and watch more of my videos. I have plenty for players and dungeon masters. I also have a review on the very first Prepared and on the Tome of Beasts, if you want to go and check that out at some point. I have a Patreon page where you can go and support me so I keep making videos like this. I have affiliate links down in the description to the book depository on Amazon, and I do have an affiliate link to Prepared 2 if you want to go and purchase it from Amazon yourself. Now remember, Share, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell button to be notified when I go live, and I go live a lot, and when I publish new videos that are edited. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.